For years, I had lived alone in my old decaying house at the edge of town. It was a place where shadows clung to the corners and whispers echoed through the creaking floorboards. I enjoyed the solitude, the silence that enveloped me like a comfortable blanket. But lately, that silence had taken on a sinister tone. It all began one stormy night, as the rain battered the windows and the wind howled like a banshee outside. I was reading a book in my dimly lit study, the only source of light being the flickering candle on my desk. I thought I heard something, an almost imperceptible scraping sound, like fingernails on wood. I dismissed it as a trick of the wind, but the unease lingered. The next evening, as I settled down for another night of solitude, I heard it again. The same eerie scraping, but this time it was louder, more deliberate. I followed the sound, my heart pounding in my chest. It led me to the basement door. The door I rarely opened, the door that led to the darkness below. With trepidation, I descended the rickety wooden stairs, my candle casting eerie shadows on the stone walls. As I reached the bottom, the scraping ceased. I was alone, surrounded by dusty, forgotten relics of the past. I shook my head, convinced I was imagining things, and climbed back up to my study. But the scratching sounds continued to torment me, each night growing louder and more persistent. It seemed to come from the walls themselves, as if something unseen was trapped within them, desperately trying to break free. My once peaceful life was unraveling. Sleep eluded me, and my days were spent in a haze of exhaustion and fear. I started to see things in the corners of my eyes, shadows that moved, shapes that shifted when I turned to look. And I began to smell a putrid, damp odor that seemed to seep from the very walls of the house. One evening, as I sat in my study, the candle flickered violently, casting wild dancing shadows. Then with a deafening crash, the bookshelves collapsed, sending a cascade of books and debris crashing to the floor. I barely had time to jump out of the way. Shaken but determined, I decided to investigate the source of the disturbances. Armed with a flashlight and a sense of dread, I ventured into the basement once more. This time, I heard not just scraping but whispers, faint and ghostly, like the mutterings of lost souls. As I moved deeper into the basement, I stumbled upon an old, forgotten well, covered by a rotting wooden board. That